Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 1st of November 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments, a few of their charts, of course, but before we start looking at those, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. There's always a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then guys, let's have a look at these charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on is the S&P 500. So looking at this one right now, looking at this daily chart that we're seeing, so the markets are open today, and we're seeing this nice push here above this downside resistance line taken from the peak of the beginning of the month, or to be more precise, the 3rd of October. And as of course right now, where we're going to keep an eye on here is we're going to still keep an eye on closely on this area right here that I was talking about in one of my previous videos, and this is the 2710 area, approximately there. Now we'll keep a close eye on this because, as you can see, there was quite a struggle here recently, or should I say yesterday. So kind of the index was trading around here, but now we're getting a nice push here to the upside. Let's see if this actually prevails, and if it continues to push higher, we do have a very good potential area of resistance here near the 2753 zone, approximately there, and that was marked here by the highs that we saw around the 23rd of October. Also acted as quite a good area of like nice support here on the 22nd of October as well. And also what's more important here is that this level around the 2753 also coincides with this with the 200 EMA, and as well you can see we do have the 21 EMA here shown as the yellow line, maybe not very clearly visible, but nevertheless it's here. I can assure you. So basically this level here becomes quite an important one to watch, because if this is going to continue pushing higher, this is where potentially the price could stall until kind of we see the bears and the bulls kind of figuring it out who's going to take control from here. But for now, if this buying momentum continues here, we could see a possible test here of this area around the 2753. As like I said, for the reason that I've just mentioned right now, I mean, it's quite an important one to watch here, because like I said, on this daily chart we can see that it's also coming closer, or and should I say coinciding with this 200 EMA here shown as the black line. So for now, keep your eyes on that one. If we get a nice strong pop through this one, certainly this is looking more looking more to the bullish side then, because then we could potentially aim for the levels like the 2800, the psychological 2800, but slightly above that we do have the 2820 here, which was marked by the peak of the 17th of October. So in a way, this could be our gateway here. The 2753 zone could be our gateway for higher levels if, of course, we get a nice pop here to the upside. On the downside for us, let's say, to get more comfortable with the lower levels, well, I mean, we could start looking at a possible move back down here below this short-term downside resistance line. And if we do get something like this, of course, we're going to keep a close eye on the 2637. As you can see, it was marked here by a very nice good support that, which was tested on the 30th of October. If we get a break below that, now this is where the index could travel further down here, potentially aiming for the lowest point here that we had in October, and that was approximately around the 2600 level, something like that, approximately there, maybe just a few points above that level, but nevertheless could be a nice potential area for a test, the psychological 2600, but only if we get a strong reversal here, not only below this short-term downside resistance line, but also a nice good break below this area right here at around 2637 zone. So in a way, if I'm just going to put some arrows here for the future reference, so on the downside, this is where we're going to keep an eye on. Certainly it's a bit of a conservative approach here, but to be honest, it's better to be safe than sorry. And on the upside, like I said, until we're kind of trading here above this 2711 zone today, we're going to keep an eye on this next potential target here on the upside at around 2753. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. Jumping into gold. Now gold is advancing sharply here today, nicely bouncing off this 1215 level that I was talking about in one of my previous videos. And I had this one, basically this is the scenario that I had initially in my head, where we could have seen this rebound from this 1215, but then actually maybe test the tentative upside support line here from underneath and then roll over again. But as you can see, gold has different idea in its head, and this is where it's aiming for right now. Is aiming for the 1235. So I was talked about this level for several times in my previous videos, where potentially if we get a nice good close above this 1235, now this is where it could become interesting for the bulls, because this is where it could potentially lead towards a test of the 1245 level. Slightly above that, we do have the 200 EMA as well, and if you want to be if you want to mark that level as well, we do. This 200 EMA is just near the level here, near the 1248 zone, which was marked by the highs here that we had around the 12th of July. So also potential good level to watch. And so in a way, from the very short-term perspective, keep your eyes on the 1235. Let's see if we get a nice close above that level. If we don't, probably stay put here, but if this is going to stay above this tentative upside support line, now this is, I mean, we're still going to stay something like somewhat cautious, somewhat bullish, I would probably put it that way. If this, of course, reverses back down here and closes below this tentative upside support line here, now this is where my line here, my arrow that I've got here curved here on the chart, this is where it could potentially play out, and we could see maybe the bears stepping in here and pushing this one back down again. But for now, just judging by the picture that we're seeing at this point, it seems that it wants to continue pushing higher. But like I said, let's keep a close eye on this 1235. If this level holds, then if it continues to hold, now then continue monitoring this tentative upside support line. If the commodity stays above that, then yep, we are looking maybe for a potential move higher. But to be honest, at this point, and if we stay here between the upside support line and the 1235 zone, we're probably going to remain somewhat cautious here, and just wait until we see another good signal. Jumping into DXY. Now this one is it managed to reach its high here. Now this is something I want to quickly jump into a 4-hour chart here, guys, and this is something that I was talking about in one of my videos last week when I was covering DXY, and basically I was telling you guys to keep an eye on something like this. It was, of course, it was just an idea, but nevertheless, it seems that it kind of worked out in a way. So basically we had this rising wedge formation here on DXY, which clearly is visible here on the 4-hour chart, and we managed to get a nice textbook break here to the downside, where we broken the 96.55 zone, and now it's heading lower. But the level that where it's finding its support is this one right here, or should I say could find its support, and that's approximately around the 96.30 zone. So as you can see, it's almost there. It's just a few points away from there, or just even actually saying even 1 or 2 points away from there. But nevertheless, keep your eyes on that one. Keep your eyes on this 96.30 zone, because if we continue breaking that one, this is the next one to watch. Could be the 96.40 0.20, and if that doesn't hold, well, guess what? I mean, we do have this short-term upside support line that has been running here since around the September time, since the end of September. So this is what we're going to keep an eye on. We're going to keep an eye on this line here. Potentially we could see this getting tested, but only, I'll repeat myself, only if we get a nice break here below the 96.30 initially, and then a break below the 96.20. So for now, this is something for you guys to keep an eye on. But to be honest, like I said, the DXY is not really looking healthy at this point, and we could see this one traveling further down tomorrow as well. So for now, just keep your eyes on it. For the upside, I mean, it's difficult to talk about the upside, but keep your eyes on this 97 level. A nice good move back above it could potentially open the path towards higher levels, but for now it seems that that's slightly off the table. Jumping into one of the pairs, and one that I wanted to show you quickly, guys, and that's Australian dollar against the US dollar. And you probably understand that because the DXY is dropping, we are seeing some weakness in the US dollar, and now you can see that the Aussie dollar has advanced nicely today from the early morning here. It kind of started off near the 0.71 area, just slightly above that, and we managed now to break this quite important line. And for that one, let me just quickly show you the daily chart. So basically, the pair has been trading within this downwards moving channel, or should we say the falling channel, and we've managed now to break the upper side of it. So in a way, this becomes quite a bullish indication for the pair, and we could see this one traveling further up here, potentially aiming for the 0.7290 zone, or even higher, the 0.73 area. And if that doesn't hold, well, this could continue pushing higher. But for now, certainly the most important is for today, keep your eyes on this candle, and this daily candle. Judging from what we're seeing right now, it's currently finding good resistance near the 0.72 zone. Let's see if it actually continues breaking that, because the next potential area of resistance could be around the 0.7235 mark. Now, it was marked here by near the lows that we saw around the 2nd of October, also around the 4th of September. So quite an important level becomes this one, the 0.7235, but only if we get a nice advance here above the 0.72 zone. So but for now, like I said, it's quite an important one to watch, the 0.72. Let's see how that performs. If this suddenly reverses back down and we see this one dropping back below the 0.7160 level, and then eventually closing below the this upper side of the falling channel, then, well, probably the bulls should be more on the cautious side, and could be a warning signal for the bulls, because maybe this doesn't actually look quite strong, and we could see this one falling further down, and maybe reaching the 0.71 level again. So for now, guys, certainly observe this. We're at the moment, what we're seeing here is nice bullish activity, and of course, to be honest, this is looking more positive, and looking more bullish than bearish. And again, like I said, given the fact that we're finally breaking this upper side of the falling channel, and just to kind of let you know that this channel kind of started in the end of January, so almost for the full year we have been moving lower here, and certainly now the pair is kind of starting to pick up the pace. It seems like it. But let's see how this performs today, and let's see how this candle closes. But if it closes here in this area, still this is looking quite bullish, and we could see this one traveling further up here, at least towards the 0.73 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. It's quite an interesting pair, quite interesting developments happening here right now on this one, and we could eventually squeeze some more profit out of it. And this leads me into the Euro Aussie pair. So you can probably understand that even though the euro is advancing as well, but as you can see that the the Aussie strength is greater, and the Euro Aussie is now traveling towards its potential good area of support here around the 158.30 zone, which was marked by the lows of the 24th of August. Also slightly below that, we do have the 200 EMA that also could get tested if the 158.30 zone gets broken. Now, like I said, for now, be very careful here, be very cautious. At the moment, this is the level that we're keeping an eye on. It's not far from it. It's just about something like 15 to 20 pips away from reaching that 58.30 zone. So let's keep an eye on it. If this continues to hold, if this area continues to hold, we could see maybe a bit of correction here back to the upside. So let me just kind of adjust this arrow here. In a way, we could see a scenario of something like this, where the area could get tested. The 158 area, 158.30 area could get tested. Of course, the 200 EMA could also get tested, and then we could see maybe a bit of a rebound here back to the upside for some correction, and that would be quite healthy for the pair if this pair wants to continue dropping further below this 200 EMA here on the daily chart. So in a way, this little correction could be a good opportunity for the bears to step in again and drive this one lower. So guys, okay, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening, and I really appreciate your time. So if you want to join me tomorrow morning, and that's 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British summer time, for my Traders Espresso, where we're gonna have a look at more different currencies and pairs, and currency pairs and commodities and indices. So yeah guys, feel free to join me tomorrow. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye bye.